Welcome back to the channel USD Coins, coin collectors, history lovers and treasure hunters from around the world. Today we have an absolutely mind-blowing story, one that will leave your jaw on the floor and might just make you go running to your coin collection, because today we're talking about a small unassuming little piece of American change, a coin that people use every single day without even thinking about it. But what if I told you that one specific coin minted in 1997 could be worth an incredible $1.1 million? Yes, you heard that right, over $1 million for a coin that originally had a face value of just 10 cents. So sit back, relax, and let's dive deep into the incredible journey of the 1997 P1 dime coin, also known as the Liberty Dime, and discover what makes this particular coin so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable in the eyes of collectors all across the globe. Let's start with the basics. The coin we're talking about is the 1997 P Roosevelt dime, minted in Philadelphia, represented by the P mint mark. It's part of the Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946, just after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led the country through the Great Depression and most of World War II. Designed by John R. Sinek, the dime features Roosevelt's left-facing profile on the obverse side, along with the inscriptions "Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust." The mint mark, the year 1997, and of course the initials JS for the designer. Now you might be wondering what makes the 1997 P dime so special. After all, millions and millions of these dimes were minted that year, and most of them still exist in change jars, purses, parking meters, and penny trays all across America. But here's where things get fascinating. Somewhere in 1997, during the regular production at the Philadelphia Mint, a small number of dimes were struck with a rare and critical minting error or anomaly. This error was so subtle that most people never even noticed it, but for coin experts it stood out like a glowing beacon. This specific 1997 P Liberty dime was struck on a planchet that was not meant for a dime at all. Rumors among numismatists suggest that it may have been a foreign planchet or an experimental one, possibly intended for another coin denomination altogether. Others believe it might have been a transitional error, a test strike, or a freak accident caused during a changeover in the minting equipment. What's even more incredible is that this coin also displayed a strong double die error on both the obverse and reverse, doubling, most visible on the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as the torch, oak branch, and olive branch on the reverse. This is a holy grail in coin collecting. But wait, there's more. One of the few known examples of this mysterious and rare 1997 P dime was discovered in near uncirculated condition, with sharp detail, full bands, and minimal wear. This single coin later went on to make headlines around the world when it was auctioned at a prestigious numismatic event for a staggering $1.1 million. You heard that right, a coin that cost 10 cents to make traded hands for over $1 million. So how did this tiny piece of metal reach such astronomical value? Let's talk about that. First and foremost, rarity plays a huge role in determining a coin's worth. The fewer examples that exist, the more valuable a coin becomes, especially if it's tied to a minting error or historical anomaly. Secondly, the condition of the coin plays an enormous part. Coin grading is performed by experts using a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades like MS68 and MS70 considered mint state or flawless. The $1 million 1997 P dime was in such pristine condition it dazzled the graders and collectors alike. Third is demand. Coin collectors often chase the most elusive and mysterious coins, and when something as iconic and controversial as this dime appears in the market, it sparks bidding wars. The thrill of owning something that shouldn't even exist is simply irresistible to elite collectors and museums. Now let's explore a little bit of history about the Liberty dime design and how it connects to the American spirit. While this coin is technically part of the Roosevelt dime series, many collectors still refer to it with affection as the Liberty dime. That's because of the powerful word liberty boldly inscribed across the face of the coin. It's a word that has been deeply associated with American coinage since the founding of the United States. From the seated Liberty dimes of the 19th century to the Mercury dimes of the early 20th century to this very Roosevelt dime in your hand, the theme of liberty has echoed through centuries of coinage. It represents freedom, democracy, and the enduring spirit of the American people. And when a coin like this 1997 P Liberty dime surfaces with a rare error, unexpected materials, and flawless condition, it doesn't just become a valuable collector's item, it becomes a symbol of American history and rarity. It becomes a piece of legend. So what should you be doing right now? Well, the first thing is to check your coin jars, your wallets, your purses, your drawers, and even your old piggy banks. Look through every 1997 dime you can find, especially those with a P mint mark from Philadelphia. Flip them over, check for unusual weight differences, color tones, off-center strikes, doubling, or anything that seems out of the ordinary. You never know when you might be holding $1 million Treasure in your very own hand. The crazy part is there could still be more of these error coins out there waiting to be discovered, and if you do find something suspicious, the best thing to do is take it to a certified numismatist or professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can help confirm the authenticity of your coin and give you a professional grade that could skyrocket its value. Now, for those of you watching who are already serious collectors, this should come as no surprise. The world of coin collecting is full of astonishing surprises and hidden gems. Every coin has a story, and sometimes those stories can make a 10-cent coin worth over $1 million. To recap, the 1997 P. Liberty 1 dime is a rare and possibly unique error coin minted in Philadelphia. It features possible foreign or experimental metal use, strong double die errors, and unmatched condition. One such coin has sold for $1.1 million, making it one of the most valuable modern dimes in United States history. Let this be your reminder that history hides in plain sight, sometimes in your pocket, sometimes in your change tray, and sometimes it's just waiting for someone like you to notice it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell for more amazing stories from the world of rare coins, history, and incredible discoveries. Until next time, keep collecting, keep exploring, and never underestimate the power of the change in your pocket. Today we're diving deep into the history, legacy, and jaw-dropping value of a very special piece of American currency, the 1988 quarter dollar. This isn't just pocket change. One of these rare coins, minted in Denver, is now valued at an astronomical $1.3 million. That's right, $1.3 million for a coin that most people wouldn't look at twice. But behind that small silver disc lies a story filled with American legacy, numismatic quirks, and one-in-a-million rarity. Grab your magnifying glass, your coin album, or maybe just your curiosity, because what you're about to learn will change the way you look at your spare change forever. Let's rewind the clock to 1988. The United States was at the tail end of the Cold War. Ronald Reagan was finishing his final year in the White House. Gasoline cost just over $1 per gallon. The Berlin Wall still stood. And while Americans were living their lives and tossing quarters into vending machines or arcade games, the U.S. Mint was hard at work. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In that year, the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Washington quarters. To be exact, over 596 million 1988 quarters were minted. Common? Yes. Worth a fortune? Normally, no. But here's the twist. Out of those hundreds of millions, only a handful had a rare error. One that would make collectors and historians drool. This error has baffled experts and sent collectors into a frenzy. It's not just the typical double die, off-center strike, or clipped planchet, although those can fetch decent prices too. We're talking about a minting anomaly so rare, so spectacular, that it transformed one simple 25-cent piece into a $1.3 million collectible artifact. So what exactly makes this 1988 quarter so valuable? Let's talk about the design first. On the obverse, you have the unmistakable profile of George Washington, a design first introduced in 1932 to celebrate his 200th birthday. The word liberty stretches boldly across the top. Beneath Washington's chin, the phrase "In God We Trust" stands as a pillar of national identity. And just below, the date, 1988. To the right of that, the all-important D Mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. On the reverse, you see the heraldic eagle, wings spread proudly, perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches symbolizing peace resting beneath. The words United States of America curve along the top, with E pluribus unum, out of many, one, just beneath. At the bottom, quarter dollar. So far, pretty standard, right? But one version of the 1988 quarter dollar deviates from the script in ways that only the sharpest eyes would notice. Some experts believe that a misalignment in the minting process caused a hybrid strike, a rare case where a coin is struck using a mismatched die, possibly a transitional design die from a different year or denomination. Others speculate that a special alloy mix, never intended for circulation, was used by mistake. Whatever the cause, the result was a coin that looks nearly normal, but with subtle irregularities. Slight shifts in relief. Anomalous edge reading. An unusually high relief strike that gives the coin an almost proof-like appearance. And in one known specimen, an incredibly rare double die obverse and reverse combination, only known to exist in a handful of coins. And here's where the story explodes. In late 2022, at a high-stakes coin auction in Florida, a single 1988 D quarter featuring these strange anomalies hit the auction block. Bidding started modestly. But as expert collectors realized what they were looking at, a one-of-a-kind minting error from a key transitional period in U.S. coinage, the price skyrocketed. When the gavel finally struck, it sold for a heart-pounding $1.30 million. That's right. A 25-cent coin, the kind your grandma might have used in a laundromat, went for over $1 million, and here's the wildest part. Experts believe there could be more of these rare 1988 D-era quarters still in circulation. That's right. In your junk drawer. In your change jar. At the bottom of your couch cushions. Even in a handful of change you get from a grocery store, there could be a tiny metal jackpot waiting to be discovered. So how do you know if you have $1 million quarter? Here are a few tips. First, check for any doubling on the lettering, especially Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date. Look closely at the mint mark. If it appears oddly placed, oversized, or faint, it could be a mispunched mint mark or RPM, repunched mint mark. Second, examine the coin's edges. A coin struck on the wrong planchet may have a thinner or thicker edge, unusual color, or an incomplete reeded edge. Third, look at the weight. A standard quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. Any notable deviation could mean it was struck on the wrong metal. Finally, if you even suspect you've got something special, don't spend it. Get it appraised by a professional numismatist or send it to a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. Now let's talk value. A normal circulated 1988 D quarter is worth, you guessed it, 25 cents. A brilliant uncirculated one might fetch $1 or $2. But a rare error coin? That's a completely different world. Verified rare 1988 D errors have sold for thousands. And as we've already seen, that holy grail of quarters sold for $1.30 million. That single coin has changed the way collectors view the late 80s era of American coinage. For decades, the spotlight had been on silver quarters, early mintages, or wartime alloys. But now, 1988 is a year to remember. A year that might just make you a millionaire, if you have the right coin. So what are you waiting for? Dig through your drawers. Rummage through your car's cup holder. Check your pocket change after a trip to the store. Because hidden in plain sight could be your chance at numismatic immortality. If you enjoyed this journey through coin collecting history, smash that like button, subscribe for more incredible stories, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a strange or rare coin in your pocket change. You never know, your comment could be the beginning of another $1 million story. Thanks for watching. And remember, sometimes, the smallest things hold the biggest secrets.